So I'm really looking forward to paramotoring again, but I'm still waiting for that paramotor I just ordered to arrive. And before that, I thought I might go over all the paramotors I have had, especially for those people who have not seen some of my earlier videos. And there's been a few. Starting around 2014, I had the paramotor that gave me a great workout. Also had the mini plane after that. Wonderful until I decided to bend its frame when it fell off my carrier. Then that top 80 engine went to the Kangook frame. And then the paramotor I really wanted to love. Unfortunately, that love was not returned. Then I had the really nice Parajet Maverick with the Atom 80 engine. I thought, though, perhaps I'd like to go to the 185 Moster. That was not a good idea. My hip didn't like that. So that has actually gone to another individual now who is definitely more suited to it. And now, lucky 7. This is the Fly Products Eclipse Atom 80. Yeah, back to the Atom 80. Well, delivery was delayed, basically because I think they lost my paramotor. They did find it, and I thought it wise to just go pick it up myself. During this COVID situation, a lot less drivers are out and about. They're really slammed, so I was able to pick it up. This is the new Fly Products Eclipse Atom 80. Packed really well, super light frame here with the engine. So it comes with a nice manual for both the Atom 80 and the assembly of the frame, but there is a really good video that Fly Products put out on the assembly, and I'll go ahead and post that below. You got some great prop covers, and of course you have the logo on the prop. And did I mention how light this is? So after you get rid of all the bubble wrap, you can finally get down to looking at everything. It is well protected though in the shipment. The throttle is very simplistic. And first impression was, boy, this is really not very substantial, but as I've been using it, I really kind of like it. I don't think it's gotten great reviews, but I'll let you know. My absolute best so far I've liked is the Bitter Aussie. The swing arm attachment structure is pretty unique. As you can see here, there's a pretty beefy attachment system. That bolt simply holds it in place, but there's no stress on a single bolt just to hold you up. So it's pretty substantial. It comes with 6 carbon rods from large, medium, and small, 3 on each side. So the cage assembly and netting then attach these carbon rods, and it's pretty foolproof. I didn't do that badly my first time, but there's also clips on the right and left side, one being a male and the other being a female clip, so you really can't get it wrong. Again, there's an assembly video. I'll post that link below. I first start out with the attachment on top. You work your way around, and really pretty nice. I've done it 3 or 4 times now, and it's super simple. So the assembly video, and I'll post that link below, really outlines the correct method of doing this. There's these little knobs that snap in place towards the bottom, the middle, and the very last portion will be at the top. As long as you follow that routine, it's really straightforward. I've done it 3 or 4 times now, and it gets easier each time. So at this point, the netting is actually pretty snug, but you're going to make it as tight as you like by 2 Velcro straps on each side. Very simple, low tech, but really works well. So the whole structure is very, very stiff and rigid, but boy, is it like, I'm sorry, I just had a laugh. It's just such a relief from, unfortunately, that motor was a little too much more than I wanted to handle. This is the lightest paramotor that I've ever had by a good 5-6 pounds. And it's just such a delight. I had to keep doing this a few times just to make sure it was actually as light as I thought it was the first time. Okay, but now the real test is how it's going to feel on my back, and then later on, of course, how it feels once I start the engine. The harness attachment arrangement is pretty standard. You've got the leg straps, your waist strap, and then a chest strap. But one thing I really liked right off the bat was the way the leg straps positioned on your legs. They're pretty high up. You can have them really is pretty snug, and it's not going to hinder your ability to move, run, take off. Much like the split leg harness. That was super easy for that, but this has a seat board. A lot of the other harness straps sit a little lower, and if they're real tight, in order to get into your seat easier, you can hardly run. So this was really super nice. Less padding, of course, than say the Dudek power seat, but comfy. And again, it's such a light paramotor. It's really very comfortable on your shoulders. Okay, so that's the Fly Products Eclipse Atom 80. Full assembly. Took my time doing it, but really straightforward. Again, that assembly video from Fly Products would be really helpful. And now for the break-in of the engine. Now, full disclosure, this is actually the second time I'm doing this because of something that happened the first time around, which I'll go over a little bit later on. So there's a whole protocol in the Atom 80 manual. I did get up there a little oomph. And the protocol calls for 4 cycles going through different RPM from different periods of time. And the first 2 I did on the frame, and then the last 2 I did on my back here. And again, as I pointed out there, this is super easy to start, really minimal priming, and boom, it just starts with ease. Unlike the Moster, this is pretty easy to do the run-ups and protocol with the engine on my back. You can do a one-hand start, as you saw there. I was pretty Moster challenged to start that thing with any relative consistency. Okay, so what happened the first time I tried to do the engine break-in? Well, as it turns out, the cord broke. The starter cord broke right in the housing. I had to take the engine off the frame, put a new cord in, and this is a little different than doing it on the Moster. So I'll post a video on how I changed the starter cord because it is different and there's a few subtleties you have to know. I couldn't find a video on how to do that anywhere, and it would be helpful to know that beforehand, but it all worked out great. And as you could see, started the engine. It's running smoothly, and I really look forward to getting up in the air very soon and have some videos on that. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and fly safe. Bye-bye.